Before we get into geometry, I think it's important that we just revise what we've learnt up to or prior to grade 8. First of all, a right angle is 90 degrees. It can have no other magnitude or no other size. And a right angle is indicated by that symbol in your geometry diagrams or riders. The next one is a straight angle. So this would be the vertex. It means it is that size, and it can also only have a magnitude of 180 degrees, no smaller, no bigger. A revolution is the angle that goes from here right around, and that measures 360 degrees. An acute angle is any angle that falls between 90 degrees, 0 and 90. So any angle in between these two lines. That is an acute angle, and a way to remember it, it's the smallest of the angles. Oh, it is so cute. So it's the small one, 0 to 90. Obtuse angle is the angle that can be between 90 and 180. So in other words, any angle greater than 90 but less than 180. Obtuse, that's your fat angle. Reflex angle is any angle that is greater than 180. So in other words, any angle between these two lines, and it starts from 0. That is a reflex angle, and you will see if we're talking about the reflex angle, your sign to indicate it is like that. If I was talking about the other angle, it would be indicated like that. Vertical and horizontal lines, well, an easy way to remember it, the horizon is this way, so those are your horizontal lines, and these are vertical lines. Adjacent angles, it's important to understand that an adjacent angle must share a common vertex and a common arm. So for example, these are not adjacent angles because here is the vertex, there is the vertex. And these are not adjacent angles because this one's vertex is there and that one's vertex is there. So adjacent angles, the question is, do they share a common arm and a common vertex? Complementary angles. So these angles A and B over here are complementary angles in a right angle. What are complementary angles? Well, if I add that and that, so complementary angles add up to 90 degrees. Then, when we talk about angles in this context, complementary and supplementary angles, we talk about them in the same context. Are they complementary or are they supplementary? These are adjacent supplementary angles because they share a common vertex and a common arm. And if I add that angle and that angle, I will get 180 degrees. So complementary angles add up to 180 degrees. These are complementary angles, but they are not adjacent. Now, how do we remember the difference? Well, one way to remember it is people are very seldom complementary. So complementary is little. Supplementary, I always think of a ballerina doing the splits. So the ballerina has to be very supple in order to do the split. So supplementary, and the angles will add up to 180 degrees. Perpendicular lines, well, CD is perpendicular to AB, they intersect or they bisect at 90 degrees, so perpendicular lines meet or cut at 90 degrees. Parallel lines, these are lines that continue in the same direction well, they can carry on this way or this way. No matter how long I make those lines, they will never meet and they will never get closer together. So those are parallel lines, and in maths we use those symbols. So arrows on lines, so the matching arrows show you which lines are parallel. I can also use two arrows when I have different sets of parallel lines in the same geometry rider or the same problem. For more practice or for work on this, exercise 2.1 in chapter 2.